And the first time I noticed that there was that American society was changing was witnessing what was going on in the news. In the news, we had everything from well, Vietnam came a little later, about '68. But before that, we would see the Watts riots on in the news. Then we saw the Chicano riots in the news,
Yeah.
and I was still living in a labor camp at that time. Another thing I noticed in the mid-'60s was that people started coming around to our labor camp, mainly white Americans would come in to our labor camp working for poverty programs. I don't know who sponsored them. Sometimes there was a Protestant church nearby that they come out of there and kind of house them, and people would come knocking at our doors and giving us free things like toothbrushes and things like that. There was a baseball league I played in when I was sixth grader maybe, and it was called the Local Organization for Migrant Affairs. Who knows where that program went, but it lasted about a year. That's just an example, and they sponsored our baseball team. That's just an example of the kind of changes that happened, that we saw around us. I experienced 4-H in a migrant labor camp because this was the '60s, and there was a local farmer's son who was a Peace Corps volunteer in India, and he came home and he still felt the need to serve society, which was great for us. You know, we got to experience 4-H, and so he would come in and do 4-H club for us.
The same thing when we moved into Oregon in a labor camp there. We got to experience being taken to swimming lessons. This would happen after we got out of work. Then, you know, there was all kinds of activities brought into the labor camp, and we were actually taken on vans or whatever to attend these activities. And so we were able to move from a labor camp into town, and we saw that was a big step for us.